Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of From Fleece to Yarn. If you didn't catch part 1, you need to go back and watch that first so that you know how to skirt your fleece first. This is part 2 of a 4-part series. We're going to get you all the way from your raw fleece all the way to a finished project. So make sure you stay tuned for the other 2 parts of this series. But today, part 2, we're going to be washing our fleece. All right, so at this point we've got my skirted fleece, and I just keep it in a tub like this. This is what I'm going to be washing it in. I'm going to go ahead, I'll take this out, but at this point I've got some water warming up on the stove. I don't really want it to be boiling hot, but I'll get it to the point right before it's boiling. And then I've also got my hot water going. I've got a strainer, and I've got my Dawn dish detergent. So those are the things that you need for this. I'm going to go ahead and bring my fleece out. I want to put the water in first. So give a good old douse of dish detergent in here. It's a big fleece, so I'm okay with using a bit of the dish soap as well. You don't want to make it real thick with soap. You just basically want enough soap to be able to get through all of the fiber. All right, so I'm going to put this down here on the ground. It's easier for me to handle. You can also use like 5-gallon buckets. Those are easier to transport when you need to empty out the water. I just do this because it's kind of a one and done thing. So this is my preference. It is a pain to haul outside because it's full of water, but I'd rather do that and do it in one step than do a bunch. That's my personal preference. But yeah, you can get any kind of container for putting water in, but just be reminded that you are going to have to take this water and you're going to want to dump it outside. I don't recommend dumping it down the drain because it's full of lanolin. Lanolin is grease. You don't really want that in your pipes. The reason that I am warming water up on the stove as well as the sink is that our water is not set to being like really hot. So I want real warm water. Not boiling. You want it under the boiling temperature, but you do want it hot. Hot to the touch is about how I feel it. If my hand is not comfortable staying in the water, it's a good temperature. And the reason that you want the hot water is to help kind of melt that lanolin to get it off of the wool. You're getting wool and you're getting dirt off of this, or you're getting, lanolin, and you're getting the dirt off of the wool in this process. I want enough water in here that I can get all my wool soaked in, so that, because I want all the wool to be covered with this water. All right, last bit of hot water here. Let's see. All right, just hot enough that I don't want to keep my hand in there, but not hot, too hot that I can't put my hand in at all. All right, this part you want to be really careful with. Putting your fleece in here. Do it very gently. Because if you agitate the wool too much, when it's in hot water like this, you can felt it really easily. So Just want gentle movements. You can see the dirt already coming off of it. All right. It is all got water in it. Even though it's up at the top here, that's okay. It still has water in it. And what I'm going to do is sit here and leave it for 30 minutes. You can see all that dirt. We're going to keep doing this process until this water comes out clean. But we're not going to add soap to it anymore after this. It'll be the one time. Unless I feel that it's still got a lot of lanolin on it. Then I'll add some more soap to it next time, not as much. All right, there it is. We're going to leave that for 30 minutes and then we'll be back. So it's been a half an hour. At this point, we're going to go ahead and gently strain some of the wool or all of the wool out of here and get it out of that dirty water. So this is, again, a very gentle part. You don't have to get all of the water out of this. I'm going to try to push out as much water as I can, but being really gentle with it. Go ahead and strain a little more out into the sink. All right, and then we're just going to keep going through this process until we get all of this wool out of here. All right, that's about it. Okay. There we go. I'll wash the soap off of here. All right, now let's go lug this thing out and drain it. Looks like coffee. Like coffee with creamer. So I'm going to go ahead. There's just a little bit of dirt left down at the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and just rinse that out real quick. And then we'll start the process over again of putting the hot water in here. But this time with no, put your water in first. Don't put your fiber in and then your water, because as you add water to it, you're going to be agitating it. All right, I've already got some hot water on the stove. We do this process until the water comes out clean. It can take 3 washes. It can take 5, 6, 7 washes. It really depends on how dirty your fleece is. And really honestly, now that it does still have some soap on it, when I add it to this water, it's still going to mix that soap in with that hot water. That's why hot water is so important. It's because it just helps. You know, like if you put lard on the stove, you heat it up. It was a solid, now it becomes a liquid. It's the same thing for lanolin. And that's what we're doing, is we're heating it up and adding soap so that it gets that grease off of there. So since it has soap still on it, because you don't rinse it out and then add it to water again, it's still in there with, it's going to be slightly soapy water, very little, but slightly. It'll continue to help heat that lanolin and get it off whatever is left in it. All right. Again, really slowly. Right. Getting it under the water. We've still got some dirty. It's not as dirty as it was, but still dirty. Gently pushing it all under the water. And again, I'm going to let it sit for half an hour. And we'll be back. All right, timer's up. I'm going to go ahead and again get the water out of here. It's not near as dirty as it was. So that's nice. All right. I'll go dump the water out again. So at this point, I'm not going to worry so much about the water being really hot. It can start getting a little less hot, and each time that you start washing it, it can get a little cooler. You don't want an immediate, like really hot down to cold water, but you can definitely decrease the heat every time that you're washing them. All right. So again, third time, we're going to go ahead and just dump it gently into the water. It can really feel like a time-consuming project, but the actual cleaning of it doesn't take that long. You get to sit for half an hour in between each time. So while it's sitting for half an hour, you can go do the things that you need. All right, so it's sitting in the water again. And again, another half hour. All right, so this is the fourth wash. We're done with it. And as you can see, that water is a lot more clear. So, I mean, there's still just a little bit of dirt in there, but that is enough that I can accept that. So, we're going to go ahead and dump this out and then spread it out to dry. All right, this whole fleece that I had, this is it. So if you watch part one, you'll see that the fleece covered this whole thing. And this is what it is when it's all soaking wet. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of thin it out a bit here. And I'm going to use the skirting table again so that we get some airflow. And there is still water in it, so make sure that this is not over carpet. You can do this outside, but I wouldn't want to do it if it's like real windy outside, just because you want to be real careful again with agitation and having your wool get agitated at all. So it's good to have it in an area where there's not a lot of wind flowing through or air flowing through. Then we're going to just leave it here to dry for, it'll probably take a couple days to dry real well. Thinning it out like this just will help it to dry a little quicker. Having something like the skirting table also helps there to be airflow from the bottom up as well. So it dries a little better versus having it on something that's solid underneath of it. All right. Looks good. All right, I'll leave it for a couple days. Let her dry. And I'll come back for part 3. Thanks for joining me for part 2 of my 4-part series of From Fleece to Yarn. Catch us on the next time for part 3, and we'll do some carding.